Hi, this is Chris Smith, known to many on the internet as Shambles Guru, and I've just built a publicity tool or display board or advertising board in Second Life for Hobsons Virtual Student Fairs, and I thought I'd share how I did that and where you can get your own free copy. So let's move into Second Life, which is running on my computer now behind this Word document, which is my Flash page at the very front. Hopefully most of you know the Alt-Tab trick. There we go, we move it along here till we get to the app we want, and here I am on International Schools Island. So, welcome to International Schools Island, and I'm Shambles Guru, the avatar. Disappointed if I'm not green, but I'm sorry about that. So let's have a look at the tool. Let me move back a little bit and move around it here, and you can see that here is the advertising board, the publicity board that I've built. Let me zoom in on that a little bit so we can see it a bit more easily. So there are several parts to it. It's a simple board and all these links, and remember we're in a 3D virtual world here, Second Life, and let me move this control out of the way. I've left the controls on here just for interest, and you can see that the board here has several things. If you click on here, you'll see a screencast play, and I'll do it in a second. You'll see a screencast play which lasts for about 5 minutes, which tells you all about Hobsons Virtual Student Worlds that are taking place in 2011. And personally, I think these are going to be a brilliant opportunity for students who are looking to find their ideal USA college or university for when they leave school. So it's high school students who will be interested in this. But this is to focus on me building this, so it's really for techies. If you click on this part, well, let's do it. If I click on there, what happens is this window comes up and I get a link to the Hobsons main Virtual Student Fairs website, and if I clicked on this, I'd go to the page. And the same with all of these. YouTube, if I click on there, a window comes up, and if I clicked on go to page, it will bring up my web browser and go to the YouTube channel that's been created for Hobsons to put videos on there. They have a Facebook account, same thing happens, and a Twitter account. If you want to follow them on Twitter to be kept up to date with what they're doing for the virtual fairs, then you click on that, this comes up, and click on there and you go to that. There's a hashtag for the event, which is #Hobsons VSF, Virtual Student Fairs. You could probably guess that. And if you click on here, it'll actually take you to Google, and you can see who's tagged digital media with this term. Let's just see what works here. I should say, if you're in Second Life and you're using one of the old viewers to get into Second Life, this won't work. You need a newer viewer for you to see what's called media on a prim. So let me click on here, and with a bit of luck, do you like the way it sort of sizes itself up horizontally on the screen, which is automatic, which I think is brilliant. And what it's doing now is it's actually going off. Actually, let me pull back a little bit. It's going off to YouTube. There was a YouTube badge here just now. Let me move this one out of the way again. And it's actually playing it, and if I turn up the volume, now don't be confused because you'll hear my voice again, because this is actually a screencast which I made earlier, which lasted 5 minutes, telling you all about virtual student fairs from Hobsons. And let me turn up the volume, but you're hearing my recorded voice.
Southeast Asia, focused on students who are living in Southeast Asia hoping to go to North America, which is in March. You can see the countries that are covered there. Also in March,
and you can just go to the YouTube channel anyway and listen to this. So let me stop that. I've forgotten, how do you stop that? Oh yes, you stop it by going down to here and clicking on pause. Okay, and that's it. Let me pull back a little bit here now. Zoom back a bit so you can see the board again. So it's really a board that I've made up, and if you are an avatar in Second Life, then you're actually able to just come here and you can right click on the board, and there's an option take a copy. You can take a copy yourself, and it would be nice if you did, and if you've got a home in Second Life, just come and take a copy and put it up somewhere to help advertise these fairs for students. It's full permission, so you may even be able to take it to Teen Grid if you have students in the Teen Grid in Second Life. No, and that's it. You could well stop now, but I'm going to mention a few things for the techie people in here, the people who actually build in Second Life and virtual worlds, just to let you know how I built this. Now this the object here is called a prim. I think it actually stands for primitive object. So it's like a cube which has been flattened. It's a very simple object. It's very easy to build it in Second Life. But what is interesting is everything you can see on here, which looks quite complicated, is just one texture. It's something I did in Photoshop. In fact, it wasn't Photoshop, it was Fireworks, another Adobe product. So all of this was designed, and it's what's called a texture. So it looks like there's a lot of things here, but it's just one image that's put on the surface of this prim. And then what I've done is, to activate things, I've actually put over the top something which is transparent. Now if I switch on transparency, let's see if that happens. It's Control-Alt-T if I remember rightly. You can just see something happened. Over the top of here are things which are transparent. And in the transparency I've actually put the little bits of code which enables things to happen. And I can check that, and I can show you that if you like. If I click on this one and click on edit, this window comes up. We are really getting techie now for the builders in Second Life. If I click on there, and I have to choose select edit linked, so I want to just edit this one in YouTube. And if I go to here, I go to content. This is actually the bit of code that's inside that transparent prim stuck on the surface. And if I open that up, well, we really are getting techie for this. That's all the code is. Now I don't understand it myself, but I do know that if I want it to go to somewhere else, I just change this URL and the description is there. So that's that. I want to show you a couple of other interesting things. Just I nearly said just for interest. I want to show you a couple of interesting things. Just close that. And this is this bit here. There is a transparent prim over the top of here, and the images and the video, the screencast, is actually playing there, and it's a YouTube video. But what is interesting, the video is playing there with none of the rubbish you normally get around YouTube videos. Now let me explain what I mean. If I go to the actual YouTube account, where is it? Let's have a look. Let me go to the tab here. Here's the YouTube account. This is and if you wrote this down and went here, you'd be able to see the screencast without going into Second Life. And but you can see on this YouTube page, you get all this other rubbish around the side here and down the bottom here and a whole lot. And I just want to play this bit. Now let me show you a little trick, and it's useful if you're a teacher to use in classrooms if you want to display YouTube videos to students. And you see the address at the top here. It says www.youtube.com/ and then all this rubbish here. Watch $v equals and some weird rubbish there. Now let me show you a really interesting trick. Let me show you what I've done here. See where it says youtube.com there? Well, if you take the address and you replace it with fullscreentube.com and then all that same rubbish afterwards, then it actually displays the YouTube video with nothing else, just full screen. And that's a useful little interesting tip to learn if you want to show videos in the classroom. Now let me show you another fun thing to do with people. Let me go back to Second Life. Down here, well, let me switch off transparency so you can't see the fuzzy colours. Control-Alt-T. Okay, they're nice and clear now. This one, if I click on this one, let's see what happens. If I click on that, it wants to open up a web page. Let me see what happens if I click on there. Here we go. Now you can see what's happening. I'm not actually touching the keyboard or the mouse, and it's automatically putting the hashtag into Google and then displaying it. And how do you do that? Well, you do that by going to a site called letmegoogle.that4you.com. And I do this, it's a bit wicked, but I do this sometimes. And if somebody asks me a question, which is a pretty simple question to do, oops, this is the wrong place. There we go. Let me Google that for you. If somebody asks me a question, what I do sometimes is go to this site. It's a bit naughty. And if somebody said, how big is an elephant? What happens is it creates this address here, and you can copy that and send that to somebody. And when you do, actually, let me do it. Let me show you. When you do copy it, and when they click on it, it does a search automatically for them on this page. It's a really fun thing. Now, if I haven't explained that well, try it. Go to Let Me Google That For You. It was the acronym, and it automatically does a search for people. So I hope you found that interesting. It was really a little tutorial about some simple building things in Second Life. But also, there's the free board here now for the Hobsons Virtual Student Fairs. Feel free to come and get one if you live in Second Life or have a home here or do work here, and it'd be appreciated if you could put it out. Oh, and just to remind you, how you get here, where you go to is there's something called a slurl here, which is a Second Life URL. If you click on this, it will actually give you it will take you to Second Life. And I hope you enjoyed that. Thanks for listening. Have fun.